Act 2, Scene 5. Zoper and Mahomet. Zoper said, "Hard fate, unhappy Zoper, thus compelled to meet my worst of foes, the foe of all mankind." Mahomet replied, "Since 'tis the will of heaven that Mahomet and Zoper should at length unite, approach without a blush, and fearless tell thy tale." Zoper said, "I blush for thee alone, whose baneful arts have drawn thy country to the brink of ruin, who in the bosom of fair peace wouldst wage intestine war, loosen the sacred bonds of friendship, and destroy our happiness. Beneath the veil of proffered terms thou meanest but to betray, whilst discord stalks before thee. Thou vile assemblage of hypocrisy and insolence, abhorred tyrant, thus do the chosen ministers of heaven dispense its sacred blessings and announce their God?" Mahomet said, "Wert thou not Zoper, I would answer thee, as thou deservest, in thunder by the voice of that offended being thou deridest. Armed with the hollowed Quran, I would teach thee to tremble and obey in humble service, silence, and with the subject world to kneel before me. But I will talk to thee without disguise, as man to man should speak, and friend to friend. I have ambition, Zoper. Where's the man who has it not, but never citizen, our chief, our priest, our king, projected aught so noble as the plan of Mahomet? In acts, our arms, hath every nation shown superior in its turn. Arabia now steps forth, that generous people, long unknown and unrespected, saw her glories sunk, her honors lost, but lo, the hour is come, when she shall rise to victory and renown. The world lies desolate from pole to pole. India's slaves and bleeding Persian mourns her slaughtered sons, whilst Egypt hangs the head. Dejected from the walls of Constantine, splendor is fled. The Roman Empire torn by discord sees its scattered members spread. On every side inglorious, let us raise Arabia on the ruins of mankind. The blind and tottering universe demands another worship, another god. Crete had her Minos, Egypt her Osiris. To Asia, Zoroaster gave his laws, and Numa was in Italy adored. Our savage nations, where nor monarchs ruled, nor manners softened, nor religion taught, hath many a sage his fruitless maxims spread. Beneath a nobler yoke I mean to bend the prostrate world, and change their feeble laws, abolish their false worship, pull down their powerless gods, and on my purer faith found universal empire. Say not, Zoper, that Mahomet betrays his country. No, I mean but to destroy its weak supports, and banishing idolatry united. Beneath one king, one prophet, and one God, I shall subdue it, but to make it glorious." Zoper said, "Is this thy purpose then, and darest thou thus avow it? Canst thou change the hearts of men, and make them think like thee? Are war and slaughter the harbingers of wisdom and of peace? Can he who ravages instruct mankind? If in the night of ignorance and error we long have wandered, must thy dreadful torch enlighten us? What right hast thou to empire?" Mahomet said, "That right which firm, exalted spirits claim, our vulgar minds," Zoper said. "Thus, every bold imposture may forge new fetters and enslave mankind. He has a right, it seems, to cheat the world, if he can do it with an air of grandeur. Mahomet said, I know your people well. I know they want a leader. My religion, true or false, is needful to them. What have all your gods and all your idols done? What laurels grow beneath their altars? Your low and groveling sect debases man, unnerves his active soul, and makes it heavy, phlegmatic, and mean, whilst mine exalts it, gives it strength and courage. My law forms heroes, Zoper said. Rather call them robbers. Away, not bring thy hateful lessons here, but to the school of tyrants boast thy frauds, to lost Medina, where thou reignest supreme, where blinded bigots bend beneath thy power, and thou beholdest thy equals at thy feet. Mahomet said, my equals? Mahomet has none, long since. I passed them all. Medina is my own, and Mecca trembles at me. If thou holdest thy safety dear, receive the peace I offer. Zoper said, thou talkest of peace, but 'tis not thy heart. I'm not to be deceived. Mahomet said, I would not have thee, the weak, deceive, the powerful command. Tomorrow I shall force thee to submit. Today, observe, I would have been thy friend. Zoper said, can we be friends? Can Mahomet and Zoper ever be united? Say what God shall work a miracle like that. Mahomet said, I tell thee one, a powerful God, one that is always heard. By me he speaks to thee. Zoper said, who is it? Name him. Mahomet said, interest, thy own dear interest. Zoper said, sooner heaven and hell shall be united. Interest. May the God of Mahomet, but mine is justice. What shall join them to each other? Where is the cement that must bind our friendship? Is that the son I slew, or the warm blood of Zoper's house, which thou hast shed? Mahomet said, it is thy blood, thy son's, for now I will unveil a secret to thee, known to none but me. Thou weepest thy children dead, they both are living. What sayest thou, living? Unexpected bliss. My children living? Yes, and both my prisoners. My children slaves to thee? Impossible. My bounty nourished them. Zoper said, and couldst thou spare a child of Zoper? Mahomet said, for their father's faults I will not punish them. Zoper said, but tell me, I say, for what are they reserved? Mahomet replied, their life or death depend on me, but the word and thou art master of their fate. Zoper said, oh, name the price, and thou shalt have it. Must I give my blood, or must I bear their chains, and be the slave of Mahomet? Mahomet said, I ask not either of thee. Lend me thy aid, but to subdue the world. Surrender Mecca to me, and give up your temple. Bid the astonished people read my sacred Quran. Be thou my vassal, and before me then will I restore. Thy son, perhaps hereafter, may reward thee with honors, and contract a closer tie with Zoper. Mahomet, thou seest in me a tender father, after 15 years of cruel absence, to behold my children, to die in their embraces, were the first and fairest blessings that my soul could wish for. But if to thee I must betray my country, or sacrifice my children, no, proud tyrant, the choice is made already. Fare thee well. Mahomet said, an execrable dotard, but henceforth I will be more implacable, more cruel even than thyself. And both Shia and Islamic sources, I mean, Shia is Islamic source, but you know what I mean, Shia and Sunni sources they have the narration that God curses the one who fights to force conversion. God curses the one who fights to extend borders, for land. God curses the one who fights to capture slaves. God curses the one who fights to capture treasure. Now, certainly, if you have been robbed and you're taking something back or whatever, but the purpose of war is not allowed to be wars of conquest of any sort. And I'm trying to think what that one era, Palmyra. I can't, is it Palmyra? Yeah, Palmyra. I'm not, what? I'm not finding it. And who's this Zophar supposed to be?